Our final reading is on page 92 and 93. It's called Sleep and Memory. Do you see this brain? These are electrical impulses going through your brain. This is what your brain looks like when you're thinking or when you're sleeping. There's a lot of brain activity. Every part of your brain has a different function. I think this is the front of your brain. This is where your personality is. Down here, ooh, gosh, I can't catch it. Down here is the primitive, the old part of your brain. This is your impulse to breathe and to go to the bathroom and your heart beating, and if you have to fight somebody or run away from danger. Other parts of your brain have to do with visual, like when you see something, it goes here. When you hear something, it goes here. When you do math, it goes here. When you read, it goes here. So every part of your brain, it's very complex. Every part of your brain has a different function. We use our brains all day long. And when we sleep, something special happens in our brains. That's what we're going to read about today. Many people think sleep must be important for memory. But until recently, there was little proof. So when you sleep, it helps you create memories of what happened during the day. That's why sometimes you have a bad dream, I think, because something puzzling or bad happened to you during the day. Then at night, your brain thinks about it more and processes it. Scientists also weren't sure how long-term memories were formed in the brain. They now understand how the process happens. Good, we're going to learn how we create memories. However, and why sleep is so important. Sleep is really important. If you didn't sleep, you would go crazy. Let me read that again. Many people think that sleep must be important for memory, but until recently there was little proof. Scientists also weren't sure how long-term memories were formed in the brain. They now understand how the process happens, however, and why sleep is so important. Paragraph B, the stages of sleep. What happens first, second, third, fourth? What happens in the brain when we sleep? As the graph on the next page shows, the average adult goes through different sleep stages each night. REM, rapid eye movement, when your eyes are going like this. REM, sleep, and 3 stages of non-REM sleep. When we first go to sleep, we proceed from REM sleep to stage 1 of non-REM sleep, and then to stages 2 and 3. Non-REM stage 3 is the deepest level of sleep. After that, we go back through the stages, stage 3, stage 2, stage 1, and have a period of REM sleep before entering non-REM sleep again. We repeat this cycle 4 or 5 times each night. With each new cycle, the time spent in deep stage 3 sleep decreases, and the time spent in REM sleep increases. So I think you have a dream during REM time when your eyes are moving. So there's 4 stages. Is it 4 stages of sleep? No, there's 3 stages of sleep. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. And we repeat the stages 4 times. In 2009, a research team at Rutgers University discovered new information about the role of sleep in creating memories. In other words, how does sleep help us create memories? The team found a type of brain activity that happens during sleep. The activity transfers new information from the hippocampus to the neocortex, the part of the brain that stores long-term memories. I'm going to put a chart on our page that goes over the parts of the brain and each function of each part. That should be interesting to you. The activities that occurs when information moves from the hippocampus to the neocortex looks like short, powerful waves. The Rutgers team called this brain activity sharp wave ripples. The brain creates these ripples in the hippocampus during the deepest level of sleep. This chart, which we will talk about in more detail, shows you what your brain is doing at each level of sleep, the activities in your brain. So here is at 11 o'clock what your brain is doing, at 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock, until 7 o'clock what your brain is doing. This is awake. This is REM sleep, REM stage 1, REM stage 2, REM stage 3. And so this is, if you took a picture of your brain activity while you're sleeping, that's what it shows. Okay. The Rutgers team called this brain activity sharp wave ripples. The brain creates these ripples in the hippocampus during the deepest level of sleep. The Rutgers scientists discovered this wave activity in a study using rats. So usually we don't first study the body using human bodies. We usually start with animal bodies. Why? Because we don't want to damage humans. They say it's okay to damage or hurt a rat or a pig or a monkey or a rabbit, but not to damage a human. So the rat and the human have similar kinds of brains because they're both mammals. Usually people don't care for rats very much, but rats are very intelligent as well. Okay, so they use rats. They train the rats to learn a route in a maze. A maze, so you put the rat here and you go right, go left, go up, go down, go over. So you train the rat to run in a maze. Then they let the rat sleep. They gave one group of rats, sleeping rats, a drug that stopped brainwave activity. So the one group of rats couldn't have a normal sleep. They gave them a special drug to stop normal activity. As a result, this group of rats had trouble remembering the route. Oh, so there's two groups of rats. They trained them to go in a maze. Then one group of rats, you don't get to sleep. The other group of rats, you can sleep. Then the next day, they put them in the maze again. The rats who couldn't sleep couldn't remember the maze. This is why sleep is so important for studying, for learning a language, for learning in college. You have to get sleep because that's what helps you remember math, English, concepts from psychology class, accounting. It helps you remember everything. Okay. As a result, this group of rats had trouble remembering the route. The reason? The new information was unable to leave the hippocampus and go to the neocortex. Lifelong memories. Because of the Rutgers study, we now know how the brain creates long-term memories. The study also proves that sleep is important for learning and memory. During deep sleep, brainwave activity transfers short-term memories from the hippocampus to the neocortex. Then the sharp wave ripples teach the neocortex to make a long-term form of the memory. That's very interesting. Researcher Georgi Bousaki says, this is why certain events may only take place once in the waking state, and yet you can remember them for a lifetime. Have you had something happen before where it only happened once in your life, but you'll never forget it? That's because when you went to sleep that night, one part of your brain told another part, remember this, remember this, remember this. Like when I told you about my experiences with sharks. Every night after I had one of those shark experiences, I went to sleep, remember about the shark in Hawaii, remember about the shark in Mexico, remember about the shark in Puget Sound. Wow, pretty interesting stuff. Now, this is very important. This part is how to train your brain, how to have a stronger brain. Let's see if we can get through this one. Apart from getting enough sleep, there are other things you can do to improve your memory. Here are some tips. Number 1, avoid stress. Don't have too much stress in your life. Research shows that stress is bad for the brain. By avoiding stress, you may improve your memory. Physical exercise is one way to reduce stress. So the more you exercise, the better your memory will become. So maybe after class, before you study, go for a long walk somewhere or go for a run somewhere. Don't sit on your phone for 1 hour. Go get exercise for 1 hour. Play games. Do you still play games like card games or board games? Some scientists say that mental activity might help. They said might, so 50-50. They don't really know. But they say mental activity might help memory. Puzzles, math problems, and even reading and writing can all benefit the brain. And the last point is eat right. Your brain can benefit from a healthy diet just like the rest of your body. Foods that have antioxidants kill poisons in your body, such as blueberries and spinach, are good for brain cells. This helps memory. I learned a lot from this chapter. I want to remember the hippocampus and the neocortex. The hippocampus and the neocortex are the parts of your brains that stores memories while you sleep. I also want to remember there's 3 stages of sleep, and that we go through 4 or 5 cycles of these 3 stages every night. And if you don't sleep, you don't have a good memory. The takeaways for my health are to eat well, to exercise, to limit stress, and to get sleep. This is a very interesting chapter. Okay, I will see you later. Bye.